Welcome to Private Money Secrets. I'm Keith Yackey and I'm your host, and all we talk about here is private money, real estate, and some other fun stuff. Grab your favorite beverage. Let's dive in. Let's have a real conversation here. Let's have a real talk about what it really means to actually grow. See, I get the opportunity to coach a lot of people in life in a lot of different aspects. It's not just, hey, here's how to raise a bunch of private money, or hey, here's how to get your relationship back together, or hey, here's how to upgrade your life and be the winner that you know you're called to be. And I see things happen over and over and over again, such as when people say they want to grow, there's an excitement, there's a newness, there's a opportunity that they look and go, wow, that looks amazing. I want to be that. I want to do that. I want to get that. And they will start whatever tasks that they need to do for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. But by day 5, they're not as eager to do those tasks. By day 7, they're less eager. By day 12, they're a lot eager. So let me give you an example. So when I work with private clients, we have a 10-point system every day on what we do to make sure that we're optimizing and upgrading our life in every area of our life, whether it's making sure that we're healthy, making sure that we're connected with our creator and living our passion and our purpose, making sure that we are moving our businesses forward or showing up and being very valuable employees, to our relationship with our spouse, our partner, our friends, our kids. And there's a 10-point system that we do, but there's everything that throughout the day, we have a 10-point system that you check off. Hey, I drank a full gallon of water today. Check that off. I played with my kids today. Check that off. I sent my partner a loving text, or I told them to their face how much I love them. Another point. So there's all these points that line up. Hey, I'm going to list out 5 important things that I'm going to do today. That's the power list I got from Andy Frisella. Okay, I'm going to check that off. So what happens is when I tell people this, I go, listen, this is the winner's way. This is how you actually win, is by doing these things every day and stacking them up over and over and over and over again. They get excited. And they're like, oh my gosh, this is the holy grail. Oh my God, Keith has really decoded something. And not that I've really decoded anything. I've just taken an amalgam of stuff I've learned from other people. And I know what you need to do to move your life forward in all these areas. I've actually borrowed a lot of it from a lot of my close friends, and I give attribution to all of them. But here's what happens. Day 1, 2, and 3, they'll get a 9 or 10. They did it, and they'll feel accomplished. But the truth is, they won't actually see any progress by day 3. They'll feel good about themselves for a little bit. And then day 4, they might only get 8 out of the 10. Then day 5, it's 7 out of 10. By day 10, it's 6 out of 10. And by day 14, they're back to a 3 or 4 out of 10, if any at all. Why? Here's why. You have trained yourself in the habit of doing just enough to get by. Most people have trained themselves in the habit of doing just enough to get by. Let me repeat that again. Most people have trained themselves in the habit of doing just enough to get by. And because we don't see immediate results within 2 weeks, people will drop that 10, they'll go back to the 2 or 3 or 4 that they started at and think, oh, that didn't work. You see people do this with their weight loss, right? They'll start to eat healthy. They'll feel a little bit better because they're actually getting into some positive habits and they know this is the right thing and they're confident, but then that doubt creeps in. Well, I'm not excuse me, I'm not ripped yet. Or I'm sending these loving texts to my spouse, but she's still a bit. Or for you ladies, you're like, I told my husband I loved him. I even got a little bit frisky with him, did a little sexy time with him, but he's still just an ogre. He's still a knuckle dragging retard. Listen, the habits you've created for your life are what have created the habitat and all of the things around your life. But you've been working those old habits for a very long time. So the reason why people get so discouraged and they don't keep daily habits up is because they don't see that immediate result. And it's going to take faith. Faith in the Bible is evidence of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. It's the presence of things hoped for, something like that. That's a bad quote, but the bottom line is faith is the evidence of things that you're hoping to get. Faith. To putting your trust in something that maybe you can't quite see yet. And I'm not even talking about Jesus and a cross and our Savior or Buddha and a mala bead. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about faith, trust, hope, and a process. And what's interesting is you already possess a phenomenal amount of hope and faith in a process that's already proven to not work. You're in the spot you're in because you've done what you have done. So why would you continue to have faith in that old process? It hasn't got you where you want it to go. You would think that we would abandon these things immediately. What happens? Well, we come to a crossroad. And we go, oh shit, this is going to take a different version of me, a bigger version of me. And what happens is we have a very hard time trusting a different process. We have a very tough time trusting a different voice because we've been listening to our own voice for this long. So here's what I want you to pause and consider. Next time you are trying to make growth in an area, but you're not seeing the immediate result, or maybe you're only seeing just a slight result. Could you imagine if you just saw a slight result and you kept doing that, how that slight result turns into a very massive result? But most people think, oh, it's only a slight result. What are they secretly hoping for? What are you secretly hoping for? You're secretly hoping for that you found the silver bullet, the bullet that does away with all enemies with the single pull of a trigger. Just life isn't that way, though. That's not how it works. So what I want you to pause and consider is if you get into a situation, you go, wow, the thinking that got me here is not going to get me out of here or push me past here. I'm now in a spot where I'm going to have faith in a process that's bigger than me, that's better than me, that's more wise than what I am right now. And if you do adopt a new habit, a new way of doing things, and you see the smallest, slightest result, double down on that. I know that the daily do's that we do within my program, I know they are what has made me successful. I know it because I know it. Because it's not just stuff that I've come up with. It's stuff that I've learned from others. And I see their lives. And I see what they're going through. And I see what they're creating. And when I see the smallest of results from an action, I go, that worked. And I'm going to continue to double down on it. Results will never happen as fast as you want them to. Know that. And the lie is that they should or would, or you deserve them to, or you're entitled to that. You're not. You're entitled to do the work. You're not entitled to the fruit. I heard that a long while ago, and I think that's a Buddhist quote. You're entitled to do the work, or you're not entitled to the fruit. What am I saying here? Keith, what are you saying here? I'm saying that the reason why you quit the habits that are new is because you're expecting them to be the silver bullet. You're expecting it to be easy. You're expecting like, oh, I finally found the hidden fruit. The hidden fruit is that shovel and pickaxe and hard work you've been avoiding this entire time. So when you're at the crossroads, don't shrink back in fear. Step through with faith, because now your capacity, your ability to produce is going to get greater. Your capacity to think through an option with other options that are actually wise and not shrink back. Move forward, friend. Don't fall back. Have an amazing week. If you need help with this and you want me to coach you, then you just simply reach out to us. Go to privatemoneypro.com. If you're looking for private money, and if you just say, no, Keith, I want you to speak into my life on my mindset, well, then just reach out to us at support@keithyaki.com. We'll get in touch with you. Take care.
All right, so if you're wanting to learn how to raise more private money, go to www.privatemoneypro.com, www.privatemoneypro.com, where I can show you how to be a private money pro. Take care and go rock it.